Stop. Before you pick up that watering can, before you reach for another bag of fertilizer, before you buy one more bottle of fungicide spray, there is something sitting in your home right now that is more powerful than most of what you will find at the garden center. It costs less than $2, it fits in your back pocket, and almost every gardener in the country walks right past it without a second thought. We are talking about ordinary hydrogen peroxide. The small brown bottle you have had shoved in the back of your medicine cabinet for years. And today I am going to show you exactly what it can do to your garden, how it rescues dying plants, destroys root rot from the inside out, wipes out pest populations without leaving a single chemical trace on your food, and fixes problems that most gardeners have been fighting for entire seasons without any success. But I also need to show you the mistakes, because there are 5 specific ways people use this wrong, and those mistakes are doing more damage than the problem they were trying to solve. Stay with me. This is going to change the way you look at your garden. Here is what most gardeners are staring at and cannot explain. Yellow leaves spreading from the bottom up, no matter how carefully you water. Soil that smells faintly sour even though you have not overwatered in weeks. Seedlings that sprout strong and then collapse at the stem within days. White powdery patches on leaves that showed up overnight. Fungus gnats circling the top of every container like they own the place. You have tried moving plants into better light. You have switched fertilizers. You have repotted things, adjusted your watering schedule, picked off bugs by hand, and yet the problem comes back. Or it never fully goes away. Here is what is actually happening. The battle is not being fought above the soil. It is happening underneath it, in the root zone, in the spaces between soil particles, at the microscopic level where oxygen, bacteria, and fungal spores are constantly competing for control. And most gardening advice never goes there. That is exactly where hydrogen peroxide works. Not on the surface. Not as a cosmetic fix. It goes directly to the source of the problem and addresses it at the biological level. But before we get into how to use it, you need to understand why it works. Because once you understand the science, even just the surface of it, everything about your garden starts to make more sense. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2, water is H2O. The only difference is one extra oxygen atom. That single extra atom is everything. The moment hydrogen peroxide contacts your soil, your roots, or the surface of a leaf, that extra oxygen atom breaks free and floods the surrounding environment with pure oxidation. And that burst of oxygen is catastrophic for anaerobic bacteria, fungal spores, pest larvae, and pathogens, while being completely manageable for healthy, well-established plant tissue when the solution is properly diluted. Here is the part that surprises most people. Your plants already produce hydrogen peroxide naturally. It is a byproduct of photosynthesis. Plant cells generate it, manage it, and respond to it as a normal part of their biological process. So when you introduce a diluted hydrogen peroxide solution to your soil or foliage, you are not introducing something foreign. You are supplementing a process that is already happening inside every leaf your plant has ever grown. That is why the results, when done correctly, feel almost immediate. The plant recognizes what it is receiving. The root zone gets flooded with oxygen it has been starved of. And the conditions that allowed the problem to thrive in the first place are eliminated within hours. But now here is where it gets interesting, and where most gardeners make their first critical mistake. Root rot does not announce itself. You water your tomatoes, your peppers, your herb containers faithfully. The soil looks fine from the top. And then one week, everything just looks exhausted. Leaves drooping, color fading, stems going soft near the base. You pull the plant out, and the roots are brown, mushy, and falling apart at the touch. By the time you see those symptoms above the soil, the damage below has been going on for a long time. Root rot is caused by a combination of waterlogged soil and the anaerobic bacteria that thrive when oxygen is completely pushed out of the root zone. These bacteria move through root tissue rapidly. They spread. And once they reach the crown of the plant, it is usually too late. Here is what hydrogen peroxide does that nothing else does quite the same way. When you water affected soil with a diluted hydrogen peroxide solution, the oxygen released on contact instantly destroys the low oxygen environment those bacteria need to survive. It also kills fungus gnat larvae, cutworms, and parasitic nematodes on direct contact because their soft tissue cannot withstand oxidation. The mix for treating root rot: 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts water. Pour it slowly and directly into the soil until it drains from the bottom of the pot. Do not rush it. Let it saturate completely. In many cases, you will see the plant begin visibly recovering within 48 hours, sometimes less. One important warning here. If the root damage is already severe, if more than half the root system is brown and mushy, hydrogen peroxide alone will not save it. You will need to trim the dead roots back to healthy tissue before treating. But for early to mid-stage root rot caught in time, this is one of the most reliable turnarounds in container gardening. And that brings us to something even more useful, because root rot is only one of the problems this fixes. If you grow food, this section matters more than almost anything else in this video. Aphids, spider mites, whiteflies, thrips, and other soft-bodied insects are some of the most persistent problems in any vegetable garden or container setup. They reproduce fast, they spread between plants, and the commercial sprays designed to kill them leave residue on the exact food you are trying to grow clean. Here is the thing about hydrogen peroxide as a pest control spray. Soft-bodied insects are vulnerable to oxidation in a way that healthy plant tissue simply is not, as long as the solution is properly diluted. Their bodies cannot handle direct contact with the active oxygen the peroxide releases on impact. It disrupts their respiratory function at the surface level and collapses the population quickly without the need for synthetic chemicals. The mix for pest control foliar spray: 1 teaspoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 1 full gallon of clean water. That is a gentle concentration, light enough that your foliage handles it without stress, strong enough to knock pest populations back fast. Spray it once a week as a preventive measure during peak season. Reapply after any rain because the solution washes off easily and leaves zero residue behind. Within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent application, you will see the population collapsing. And because hydrogen peroxide breaks down into nothing but water and oxygen, no byproducts, no residue, no chemical trace, you can spray it directly on tomatoes, cucumbers, herbs, lettuce, and anything else you plan to eat. That is not something you can say about most of the products sold for the same purpose. But wait, here is the part almost nobody mentions when they talk about pest control sprays. You walk out to your squash bed one morning and there it is. A white chalky coating spreading across the leaves like someone dusted them with flour overnight. Powdery mildew. And once it gets established, it moves fast, jumping from leaf to leaf, weakening the plant's ability to photosynthesize, eventually shutting down fruit production entirely. Most people reach for expensive fungicide sprays. Some of them work reasonably well. But they are not cheap, they are not food safe, and many of them require multiple applications with waiting periods before harvest. Hydrogen peroxide is an oxidizer. Fungal cells cannot survive oxidation the way healthy plant cells can. You are not masking the mildew. You are dissolving the fungal structure at the cellular level. The mix for powdery mildew treatment: 3 parts water to 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide. Apply it in the early morning, never in the afternoon heat. Coat both the tops and undersides of affected leaves because powdery mildew establishes itself on both surfaces simultaneously. Apply every 2 to 3 days until the outbreak clears completely. You will typically see the white coating begin breaking down within a few hours of the first application. By the second or third treatment, fresh growth coming in will be clean. This also works as a preventive. If your garden has had powdery mildew problems in seasons, begin light preventive sprays before the conditions that trigger it arrive. Typically warm days with cool nights and low airflow. Do not wait until you see it spreading. Now here is where this gets even more interesting, because hydrogen peroxide works before the plant is even in the ground. Here is a question for you. When is a seed most vulnerable to disease, fungal infection, and failure? Not when it is struggling in the ground, not when it is a fragile seedling. The most vulnerable moment is those first 24 to 72 hours after it begins absorbing moisture, before the seed coat fully opens, and before the root tip has any defense against what is in the soil around it. That window is when damping off happens. Damping off is the condition that causes seedlings to sprout beautifully and then collapse and die at the stem within just a few days of emerging. It is caused by fungal pathogens, Pythium, Fusarium, Rhizoctonia, that were either already on the seed surface or already living in the starting mix. And it is devastating because everything looks perfect right up until it is not. A hydrogen peroxide seed soak before planting addresses this directly. The mix: 1 teaspoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide to 1 cup of water. Drop your seeds in and let them rest in that solution for 30 minutes. This does 2 things simultaneously. It softens the outer seed coat, allowing moisture to penetrate faster and triggering germination more reliably than dry planting. And it sanitizes the seed surface, killing any fungal spores or bacteria clinging to the outside that would otherwise become the source of damping off once the seed hits moist soil. Rinse your seeds with plain water after soaking. Plant them immediately. Do not let them dry back out. Gardeners who adopt this habit consistently report stronger germination rates and almost no damping off, even in mixes and conditions where they had struggled before. But here is what they often forget. The tools and containers you plant those seeds into are just as important as the seeds themselves. This is one of the most overlooked habits in all of container gardening. Every season, root rot fungi, bacterial blight, and other pathogens survive on the surfaces of your plastic pots, fabric grow bags, wooden raised bed frames, and metal garden tools. They do not die between seasons, they wait. And when you fill that same container with fresh soil and a new plant in spring, you are not starting clean. You are introducing your new plant directly into a contaminated environment from its very first day. Wiping your containers down with a 1-to-1 mix of 3% hydrogen peroxide and water before each growing season eliminates those pathogens before they have a chance to transfer. Let the solution sit on the surface for a few minutes, then rinse. That contact time matters. Do not wipe and rinse immediately. Do the same with your pruning shears, transplanting tools, trowels, and anything else that contacts roots or stems. Do it between plants during the season, not just at the start. This one habit, done consistently, stops disease from recycling through your garden year after year. Most chronic disease problems in established gardens are not coming from outside. They are coming from the tools and containers that carry pathogens from one season directly into the next. Now here is something that trips people up constantly, and it is so simple that most gardening channels never think to mention it. Most city tap water contains chlorine. Some contains chloramine, excess iron, or sulfates depending on your municipal system. These elements do not kill plants outright. They stress them gradually. And they are particularly damaging to the beneficial microorganisms, the fungi and bacteria, that live in healthy soil and quietly deliver nutrition to your roots every single day. Every time you water with untreated tap water, you are introducing a mild dose of chemical stress directly into your soil biology. Adding 1 teaspoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per gallon of tap water before you use it drives out the chlorine almost instantly through natural oxidation. The chlorine bonds with the free oxygen atoms and is neutralized before the water ever reaches your roots. Your plants receive noticeably cleaner water. Your soil biology stays balanced and intact. Gardeners who make this switch, especially those growing herbs, seedlings, or sensitive container plants, often report their plants looking greener and more vigorous within 1 to 2 weeks. Not because the peroxide is fertilizing anything, simply because the water has stopped working against the soil. This is especially worth trying if you grow anything that seems to struggle for no clear reason despite good care, consistent watering, and adequate light. Sometimes the water itself is the problem and nobody told you. And now, this is the section I promised you at the start, the section most gardening videos skip completely. Because knowing how to use hydrogen peroxide is only half the equation. Asterisk mistake 1, using the wrong concentration. The standard brown bottle at any pharmacy, grocery store, or dollar store is 3% hydrogen peroxide. That is the correct grade for plant use. There are stronger versions, 12%, 30%, even 35% sold online and at specialty stores. These are industrial grades. Using them at the same dilution ratios as the 3% household version will burn roots and scorch foliage within hours. Always read the label. Confirm the concentration before you mix a single drop. Asterisk mistake 2. Treating a plant that is already severely stressed. A plant that was just transplanted, one that has been through drought, or one showing serious systemic decline is already operating at its cellular limit. Adding hydrogen peroxide in that state can push fragile root tissue past the point of recovery. Let a plant stabilize first. Treat the environment, not the emergency patient. Asterisk mistake 3. Over-applying and disrupting your soil biology. Hydrogen peroxide is a targeted tool. Repeated heavy applications, especially soil drenches done too frequently, deplete the beneficial microorganisms that make healthy soil function. The fungi and bacteria that break down organic material and feed your roots are vulnerable to oxidation too. Use peroxide to address a specific problem. Then give your soil time to rebalance before treating again. Asterisk mistake 4. Using a bottle that has already lost its potency. Hydrogen peroxide stored in a clear bottle or kept in a warm location degrades fast. A clear bottle exposed to light can lose nearly half of its active oxygen within 30 days of being opened. Before you use any bottle you are not sure about, test it. Pour a small amount onto something dark and organic, a piece of bread, a piece of paper towel. If it does not fizz on contact, the peroxide is broken down completely. You are applying plain water. It will do nothing. Mistake 5. Spraying foliage in the middle of a hot afternoon. Hydrogen peroxide on wet leaves in direct afternoon sun and heat creates a bleaching effect. It strips chlorophyll from the leaf surface and leaves pale, papery patches behind. That damage is permanent. It looks like sun's cold and it behaves like it too. Always spray in the early morning before the sun reaches full intensity, or in the evening after it has faded. Morning is better because the plant has the full day to recover and continue photosynthesis normally after treatment. Knowing these 5 mistakes puts you ahead of the vast majority of gardeners who discover hydrogen peroxide, use it carelessly, and then tell people it does not work or that it damaged their plants. It works. The concentration, the timing, and the purpose matter more than anything else. This matters just as much as knowing what hydrogen peroxide fixes. Not every plant in your garden should receive this treatment. Some are genuinely more vulnerable to oxidation than others, and applying hydrogen peroxide to them, even at correct dilutions, can cause harm instead of help. Orchids and other epiphytes. Their root systems are designed to absorb moisture from air and light misting, not to survive direct contact with an oxidizing solution. Even a diluted soil drench can damage their delicate aerial root structure. Succulents and cacti. These plants rarely develop the anaerobic root conditions that hydrogen peroxide is designed to address. They drain fast, dry out between waterings, and generally do not harbor the bacteria or fungi that peroxide targets. Applying it to them is usually unnecessary and can occasionally disrupt the dry soil conditions they depend on. Seedlings younger than 3 weeks old. Their tissue is still too fragile and tender. A foliar spray at this stage, even a very diluted one, can cause oxidative damage to cells that have not yet developed the resilience of mature plant tissue. Wait until they are established before any foliar treatments. Plants with fuzzy or hairy leaves. African violets, certain salvias, lamb's ear, borage, any plant with dense surface hairs on the foliage. Hydrogen peroxide solution collects between those tiny hairs and creates concentrated wet spots that cause rot patches rather than treating anything. Never spray the foliage on these plants directly. When in doubt about any specific plant, test a small area first. Apply a small amount to a single leaf. Wait 24 hours. If there is no browning or visible stress, you are safe to apply more broadly. Here is what we covered today. A $2 bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide, sitting in medicine cabinets and bathroom drawers across the country, can treat root rot, knock back pest populations without leaving chemical residue on your food, clear powdery mildew outbreaks within days, dramatically improve seed germination, and prevent damping off, sanitize your containers and tools between seasons, and clean your tap water before it ever reaches your roots. None of that requires special equipment, no prescriptions, no delivery weight, no expensive product line. Just the right dilution, the right timing, and knowing exactly what you are treating and why. The gardeners who get the best results with this are not the ones who spray it on everything constantly. They are the ones who understand when to reach for it, how much to use, and which plants to leave alone entirely. That combination, precision over frequency, is what separates the gardeners whose plants recover and thrive from the ones who try something once, get inconsistent results, and go back to fighting the same problems season after season. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever used hydrogen peroxide in your garden? Did it rescue something that looked completely finished? Or did you run into one of the mistakes we talked about today? Drop your experience in the comments right now. Every single response gets read, and the experiences you share shape exactly what we make next. If this video gave you something you have not found on other gardening channels, hit subscribe and tap the bell. There is a lot more coming. And if you are already thinking about your next move for this season, the next video is right there on your screen. Go watch it. Stay growing.